28. The shield explodes to life above us, a giant purple dome of veined glass like the one in the spiral garden. Not to protect us, but to protect the crowd. Sparks of lightning pulse through the monstrous ceiling, teasing me. Without Arvin, the lightning would be mine, and I could fight. I could show this world who I am, but that is not to be. Cal shifts, putting out his arm. The air ripples around him, distorted by the waves of heat rolling off his body. He angles himself toward the others, protecting me. Stay behind me as long as you can, he says, letting his own heat push me back. The flame maker sparks, and fire crackles between his fingers, growing up his arms. Something in his shirt keeps it from burning, and the fabric doesn't smoke away. When they break through the wall, you'll have to run. Evangeline's weakest, but the strong arm's slow. You can outrun him. They'll try to drag this out to make it a show. Then softly, they won't let us die quickly. What about you? Osanos will... Let me worry about Osanos. The executioners move steadily, like wolves stalking prey. They spread out across the middle of the arena, each one ready to advance. Somewhere, metal scrapes, and a piece of the arena floor slides away, revealing a sloshing pool of water at Lord Osanos' feet. He smiles, drawing the water up to him in a menacing shield. I remember his daughter, Tirana, dueling with Maven in training. She destroyed him. All around, the crowd jeers. Potomus roars with them, letting his famed temper take over. He smacks at his armor, ringing it like a bell. At his side, Evangeline spins her knives, sliding them over her knuckles with a grin. This won't be like before, Red, she crows. No tricks can save you now. Tricks. Evangeline knows my abilities better than most. She knows they weren't tricks. But she believes. She ignores the truth for something easier to understand. The Haven son, Strelian, grins to himself. Like his sister Elaine, he is a shadow. When he flickers out of being, disappearing in the bright sunlight, Cal moves faster than I thought possible, swinging out his arm in a wide arc like he's throwing a haymaker punch. A roar of flame follows his arm, burning up the sand, separating us from them. But the fire is surprisingly weak. The sand will barely burn. I can't stop myself from glancing back at Maven, wanting to scream at him, only to find he's still staring at me with that insufferable crooked smirk. Not only has he taken away my abilities, but he's limiting Cal as much as he can. Bastard, I curse under my breath. The sand... I know, Cal snaps, igniting more bits of the ground with a wave of his hand. Directly across from us, the line of flame separates for a second, followed closely by a bitter scream of pain. On the other side of the dying fire, Strelian fades back into sight, batting flames from his arms. Osanos douses him with a lazy gesture, putting out the fire with a wave of water. Then he turns his startling blue eyes on us, on Cal's wall, and in a single motion draws water against the weak fire like a lapping wave. The water hisses and spits, flash boiling into thick clouds of steam. Trapped by the glass dome, the steam settles through the arena, shrouding us in a ghostly white fog. It swirls and spins, enveloping us in a white world where every shadow could be our doom. Be ready, Cal shouts, a hand reaching for me, but Potomus charges out of the steam in a roar of flesh and steel. He hits Cal around the middle, knocking him to the ground, but Cal doesn't stay down long enough for Potomus to stab out with his knives. The blades dig into the ground seconds after Cal leaps, his hands on Potomus's armor. The steel melts beneath his touch, drawing a scream from the berserker. I can only run as Cal tries to cook a man in his own armor. I don't want to kill you, Potomus, Cal says through the screams of pain. Every knife, every shard of metal Potamus raises to stab Cal melts away from his intense heat. I don't want to do this. 3 sparkling blades cut through the steam, barely flashing blurs, too fast to melt in midair. They hit Cal's back, stinging through his shirt before melting away. He yells in pain, losing focus for a second as 3 spots of silver blood stain his shirt. The knives were too small to cut deep, but they weaken him still. Potamus takes his chance, and in the blink of an eye, his knives meld into a single monstrous sword. He slashes, meaning to slice Cal in 2, but he dodges in time, earning a scratch across the belly. Still alive, but not for long. Evangeline appears through the steam, knives swirling around in a glinting display. Cal dips and dodges her blades, throwing blasts of fire to knock her off course. He duels them both, hitting an insane rhythm that allows him to fight off 2 magnetrons, despite their strength and power. But blood stains his clothes, and new wounds appear with every passing second. Potamus's weapon shifts from a sword to an axe to a razor-thin metal whip, while Evangeline's jagged stars keep biting. They're wearing him down, slowly but surely. My lightning, I think mournfully, looking back to Arvin at our gate. He's still there, a black presence to haunt me. A gun hangs at his waist. I can't even try to fight him. I can't do anything. When a massive chunk of concrete sails out of the steam, heading directly for me, I barely have time to dodge. It shatters against the sand where I stood seconds ago. But before I have time to think, another comes hunting, howling through the air. The sky is raining concrete down on me. Like Cal, I find my rhythm, scurrying through the sand like a rat until something stops me short. A hand. An invisible hand. Strelian's grip closes on my throat, choking me. I can hear him breathing in my ear, though I can't see him. Red and dead, he growls, tightening his hand. My arm swings out, digging an elbow into what I suppose are his ribs, but he holds firm. I can't breathe, and black spots dot my vision, threatening to spread, but I keep fighting. Through the haze, I can see the rainbow's strong arm prowling, his eyes locked on me. He'll pull me apart. Cal still fights the Samos siblings, doing his best not to get stabbed. I can't scream for him even if I wanted to, but somehow he manages to throw a fireball my way. Rainbows has to jump back, stumbling on his massive feet, buying me a few more seconds. Gasping, choking, I dig my nails back, reaching for a head I cannot see. It's a miracle when I feel his face and then his eyes. With a gasping scream, I dig in, thumbs to his eye sockets, blinding him. Strelian roars, letting go of me. He falls to his knees, flickering back into being. Silver blood trails from his eyes like mirrored tears. You were supposed to be mine, a voice screams. And I turn to see Evangeline standing over Cal, her blade raised. Potamus has wrestled Cal to the ground, the 2 of them rolling through the sand with Evangeline haunting over them, her knives peppering the ground around him. Mine! It doesn't occur to me that running headfirst into a magnetron might not be a good idea until I collide into her. We fall together, my face scraping along her armor. It smarts and stings and bleeds, dripping red for all to see. Though I can't see the screens, I know everyone broadcasts the image of my blood throughout the country. Evangeline shrieks, lashing out with her dancing blades. Behind us, Cal fights to his feet, blasting Potamus away with a blaze of fire. The magnetron collides with his sister, knocking her away seconds before her knives slice through me. Duck! Cal shouts, throwing me to the sand as another slab of concrete flies over us, shattering against the far wall. We can't keep this up. I've got an idea. Cal spits at the sand, and I think I see a few teeth mixed in with the blood. Good, because I ran out of them 5 minutes ago. Another block sails by, forcing us to jump apart, and just in time. Evangeline and Protomus return with a vengeance, locking Cal into a chaotic dance of knives and shrapnel. Their powers shake the arena around us, calling up more metal from down deep, forcing Cal to watch his footing along with everything else. Shards of pipes and wires poke up through the sand, creating a deadly obstacle course of metal. One of them stabs Stralian where he kneels, still screaming over his eyes. The pipe goes straight through him, popping out through his mouth to silence his cries for good. Through the wreckage, I hear the arena crowd scream and gasp at the sight. For all their violent ways, all their power, they're still cowards. My feet pound through the sand as I circle Rainbows, daring him to attack me. Cal's right. I'm faster. And though Rainbows is a monster of muscle, he trips over his own feet trying to chase me. He rips the jagged pipes from the ground, throwing them at me like spears, but they're easy to dodge, and he roars in frustration. I'm red. I'm nothing, and I can still make you fall.